Okay, so looking at a tangent to a circle. It says here a circle has an equation x squared plus y squared equals 25. The point P, with coordinates -3, 4, lies on the circle. Alex says that the tangent to the circle at P crosses the x-axis at the point -8, 0. Is Alex correct? And you must show how you get your answer. Well, normally with these questions, the answer is no, but let's see. When we are looking at a tangent to a circle, I always like to draw a small sketch just so I can visualise it. Now it is just a sketch, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just a circle on an axis. -3, 4 is somewhere in this region. So -3, left by 3, up by 4, it would be in this sort of region and our tangent would look like this. So it makes sense that a point where it crosses the x-axis could be -8, 0. It should be over here on the left somewhere. We just need to figure out what that is. So when we are looking at a tangent to a circle, the first thing we look at is the gradient of the radius. And this circle is centred at 0, 0. So we are looking from 0, 0 to the point on the tangent, which we've been told is -3, 4. So the gradient from 0, 0 to -3, 4, we look at the change in y, which has gone up by 4. So the gradient is going to be 4 over the change in x, which is -3. So it's 4 over -3. Or you could write that as -4/3. So that is the gradient of the radius. Now we want the perpendicular gradient for our tangent. Tangent meets a radius at 90 degrees, so we do the negative reciprocal of that. So -4 over 3 turns into +3 over 4. And that is the gradient of the tangent. Now we know the gradient of the tangent, we can put that into y equals mx plus c, and we know the gradient m is 3/4. So y equals 3/4 x plus c. Now the x and y value have been given to us. They have to be an x and a y value that are on the line that we're drawing. And of course, it must be on the line because that's where we've drawn our tangent. So we can substitute those values in, not forgetting the first is x and the second is y. So 4 goes at the start, and that's 3/4 multiplied by -3 plus c. -3 times 3/4 gives us -9/4, just times is the numerator. So we have 4 is equal to -9/4 plus c. And now we need to add 9/4 to 4. We need to add it to the other side. If we have a calculator, nice and easy. We can just type that in. If we don't have a calculator, we would have to think about how we'll add that over. And there's two ways that I would do it. I would either change 4 into a fraction over 4. So what number divided by 4 is 4? Well, that's 16. So 16/4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Or we could change 9/4 into a mixed number, which would be 2 1/4. And if you add that over, it's 6 1/4. 4 plus 2 1/4 is 6 1/4. But if we add it over to 16 over 4, so 16 over 4 plus 9 over 4 gives us 25 over 4 as our value of c. I can now complete my line equation. So the line equation, putting this all together, now we know the value of c. We can put it just here. And our line equation becomes y equals 3/4 x plus 25 over 4. So we need to think about a way to solve this. So we want to solve this at the point on the line, which is just here, where it crosses the x-axis. Now when a line crosses the x-axis, and this is normally the bit that people tend to struggle on, but it's actually quite a nice part, on the x-axis we know one of those coordinates no matter where it is on the x-axis. We know the y-coordinate. Y is 0. The whole x-axis, y is 0. So we know the coordinate, or part of the coordinate, is 0. We just don't know that x value. So there's two ways that we could approach this. What we could do is we could solve it ourselves, and we could sub y equals 0 into our equation, which would mean subtracting minus 25 over 4 and then dividing by 3/4. Not too bad if we have a calculator. Going to be a little bit more tricky if we don't. Or we could take the negative 8, substitute it in and see if we get the answer 0. There's two ways that we could approach this. It doesn't really matter which way we approach it, but we are looking to see if we get the answer negative 8. So if we minus 25 over 4 to the other side, let's have 0 equals 3/4 x plus 25 over 4. And again, whichever method you choose here would be fine. Sub x equals negative 8 in. See if we get 0. But if we minus 25 over 4 over, which is equal to 3/4 x, and then we need to divide by 3/4, which means I have to do minus 25 over 4 divided by 3 over 4. So minus 25 over 4, if I'm going to divide by a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. So instead of dividing by 3/4, I'm going to times by 4/3. And that's going to equal x. Running out of space here, we're right down in the bottom, so let's bring that to a space where we can actually work this out. So minus 25 over 4 multiplied by 4/3. On the top there, we get minus 100. And on the bottom, we get 12. So we have to do 100 divided by 12. Now 100 doesn't divide perfectly by 12. So at this point, we kind of know the answer's not 8. For those of you that know your fractions relatively well, 100 divided by 8 is 12.5. So we haven't quite got the 12.5 below, so it's not going to be 8 exactly. So I guess at this point we could kind of say, no, this is not negative 8. It is very close. If we type it into a calculator, let's have a look. Negative 100 divided by 12 gives us minus 8.3 recurring. But the important part is this is not negative 8. So I would have to say here, is Alex correct? I would have to say no. And I would back it up with my working. Now, I don't want to make this too messy because there's writing everywhere, but obviously back it up with this working out over here. No, negative 100 divided by 12 is not negative 8. Of course, if you'd have taken the other approach here, substituting negative 8 into the equation, so 3/4 multiplied by negative 8 and then add 25 over 4, seeing if that equals 0, that would be your other way of solving it as well. But the answer is no, Alex is not correct, so we need to make that statement and it's backed up with all the working. There's a lot going on in that question. You've got gradient of a radius, negative reciprocal, equation of a line, equation of a tangent, and substituting it all in, looking at whether it crosses an x-axis. So a very in-depth question there, but hopefully a really good one, practicing all those different processes within a question like that. If you want all 9 questions like this in one place, then grab my REVISE9 revision grids completely free. Click the link in the description, create your free account and unlock them inside Upgrade or TGMT4T. Simply head to the REVISE9 tab, select Higher or Crossover and download them instantly.